What is up, guys? Apparently I just woke up to the best news of the entire week. We finally got a balance patch with a lot of nerfs in, and I really just hope these nerfs are going to be enough to make the game hopefully fun again, because I think a lot of people lately in the last weeks quit the game due to Zacian Comfy being just way too overpowered and just ruining the game pretty much, right? So let's start off. We first have a nerf to Sableye. Knockoff is getting nerfed and Confuse Ray is also getting nerfed. Less duration of stuns, wonderful. Longer cooldown on Knockoff, and also Sableye's Confuse Ray getting a duration nerf. So less being stunned, which is great. I think this Pokemon as well. Still, some people might not agree with this. Sableye completely ruins the game, still. So I'm happy this little goblin is also still getting a nerf. And then we have Zacian. So far we only see less attack, and then agility, cooldown length, and also agility effects on user weakened, which I think means that I saw somewhere that he doesn't have full heal anymore, so he can't agility out of stuns, which of course is a huge nerf. We'll see how much that is going to affect Zacian. So far I feel like it's still going to be totally fine over Pokemon, of course. Looking at some numbers later as well. And then we also have Mew. I've said that Mew needs a nerf. Some people again also don't agree with this, but Mew is so overpowered. I think some people don't agree with it because Mew takes a bit more skill to play, which I don't even agree with necessarily. It's just the move switch button, right? On mobile can be maybe a bit more difficult. But besides that, Mew is just so oppressive, right? It's one of the best Pokemon in the game. It has great laning phase. It's just absolutely insanely overpowered, I have to say it. So first we have the move reset, the cooldown is length, then we have Electro Ball, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon decreased, and then we also have the Solar Beam cooldown length. So, all looking quite fine. These are some solid nerfs, I would say for sure. I do think Mew just, the promise that Mew's Electro Ball, the Solar Beam is just so much better than all their counterparts as well. I do think they should just nerf Light Screen. I think Light Screen is way too overpowered, I have to say it. Maybe make Light Screen higher cooldown, maybe make it give not too boosted auto attack stacks. That's what I would do to Mew, because the real issue is, I think, Light Screen. Light Screen just makes Electrical Ball and Solar Beam do way too much damage, right? But the cooldown lengthened might already make it a decent amount of nerfs. Then we have Glacier and Icy Wind. I've been waiting for this nerf since ages as well. Less damage to opposing Pokemon. Icy Wind is so overpowered, it really, really is. And it's finally getting a nerf hammer. And talking about hammer, we also have Trevenant's Wood Hammer, the cooldown increased. And also we have also Pain Split actually being nerfed. So that's quite interesting. I do think Pain Split was also very, very strong. Effects on the user weakened, and then cooldown length for Wood Hammer. I think we also have some stats right here. I just want to go over the basic ones first, and then we go over the stats into the numbers. And then we have Charizard. Charizard getting some love from the devs. We have damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased on basic attacks, which I think is fair. After they took away... So what happened to Charizard is, right, they took away the true damage, which was a huge damage nerf, right? They just only took away true damage, which means Charizard's burn suddenly made normal damage, which then affects defense stats. So his damage was just insanely nerfed without him giving anything back, which was an insanely hard nerf. And since then, Charizard has been struggling. What I don't like seeing is his Unite move charge rate increased. Does this mean his Unite comes up faster? I assume so, right? Unite move charge... I think I should just buff him outside of his Unite move, because the Unite move is the most annoying thing in the game, right? So, but yeah, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increase on the basic attack. And then we have a Zoroark buff. I think just in time probably for... What, they're buffing Zoroark so much? Just in time for the Battle Pass, guys. People always have this thing about Zoroarks or like Pokemon being buffed before Battle Pass. But I think it's still like 2 or 3 weeks to go until Zoroark Battle Pass happens. Night Slash HP restoration increased. Cooldown reduced by Night Slash as well. Night Slash plus cooldown reduced. Zoroark Feint Attack cooldown reduced. Zoroark Feint Attack plus cooldown reduced. And Zoroark Cut cooldown reduced. I really want Cut to be a thing. It's just so difficult with Shadow Claw, but I might try... I'm gonna try Night Slash and Cut together. I will be trying that maybe in a bit. I think for Feint Attack you just kinda need Shadow Claw. Otherwise the enemies can run out of your Feint Attacks, which is not great. Let's look at some numbers as well. So Charizard getting a bit of more scaling on the basic attack. 2.5%. I don't know if that's going to really change too much, but I mean, buff is a buff, right? Pain Split. Using move increase Trevenant's move speed by 45 for 2 seconds, which decay 10 per half a second. Using this move increased by... Okay, so just less move speed. With the decay of 7... Okay, so he gets less move speed from Pain Split. And then the cooldown of Wood Hammer is increased by 2 seconds. So I guess my Black Emblem bit is dead now. the Black Emblem bit is dead. I can't recommend it anymore now with a 2-second cooldown reduction. I mean, I guess you would still have your Woodhammer up more often. So maybe it's still fine to run Black Emblems to make up for this nerf. Maybe actually, I don't know. But you can't chain stun or chain. You can't do Woodhammer, Woodhammer, Horn Leech, Woodhammer, Woodhammer, Horn Leech, you know. I guess that one is gone. Icy Wind is getting a 3% special attack nerf and a 5 base nerf. It's always hard to see. Oh, per Ice Crystal. Okay, per Ice Crystal. So it's a decent nerf since you have 8 Ice Crystals. 8 times 3 is for sure a bit more. I'm gonna see how much that affects. I do think Icy Wind's biggest issue is also the plus on level 10. It comes so early on. And Icy Wind plus, in case you don't know what it does, it just makes you do HP damage, right? Like, it's just ridiculous. As soon as you get to level 10, you're so strong. Here, right now. Each launch the Ice Crystal deals... Okay, stop it. Each launch the Ice Crystal also deals additional damage to enemies hit, equal to 1.5 of their remaining HP. And this is just what makes so much damage as well. Like, it's crazy. So, that is one of the issues as well of Icy Wind. It's also so fast, because evolutions get their plus on level 10. Mew's Electro Ball is getting nerfed by a bit of scaling and a bit of base damage. Okay, it actually seems quite a lot. And then Light Screen Boost. Okay, those seem like decent damage nerfs. Not too drastic, but they seem very reasonable. Of course, I'm sad because Mew's my favorite Pokemon right now. I think Mew's also my best Pokemon. But even though, like, I'm not a delusional main. Mew's my favorite, Mew's my main, maybe. I don't know if I could consider my main. And I do think it's way too overpowered, so I for sure agree it needs a nerf. Cooldown of Solar Beam by 1.5 seconds. That one is for sure going to hurt, which I think will make Electro Ball even better. Just not better, but it's going to make Electro Ball even more of the favorite choice, with the Solar Beam being nerfed even further. And then we have the move reset cooldown by 25 seconds. I think this one is by far the biggest nerf Mew's getting, right? Being able to have 5 seconds less on your move switch is, I think, going to hurt the most. Then we have Zoroark. Okay, healing. Let me just zoom in maybe a tiny bit as well. Healing. Oh, that's a lot of more healing. Okay, maybe Cut is going to be better. That looks like a lot of more healing. 30% more scaling. Then we have 80 more baseline on the healing. That's a lot. Cooldown by 1 second less. Night Slash 2 seconds less cooldown. Upgraded cooldown also another second gone, so 8, 7. And then Feint Attack also gets 1 second less on the first one and 1 second less on the next one. So 5 seconds in total late game. I feel like the cooldown is not the issue though, these abilities, but yeah. I mean, I think Zoroark is very strong, right? So personally, it's just hard to win games in late game. I think late game is the biggest issue. But I guess I'm gonna try some Cut, because this healing buff seems actually quite a lot in the end. And then Sableye, knockoff, first activation decreased by 0.1 seconds. Then the second one, first activation for no Eos energy decreased. Oh, right. 0.6 if the enemies have no Eos energy. Gets stunned more. After hit reactivation time reduction. I don't know what that means. Second activation. Wait, what am I reading here? Inquisition duration decreased. And then another one by. It's just whatever. Just the stuns are getting nerfed. That's all that matters. But where's the Confuse Ray? This is just for his knockoff, right? It said also Confuse Ray, so I hope, but I guess it's not in the stats right now. Confuse Ray duration reduced, but I don't see it right here. No, I don't see it. And then Zacian. So is this really going to matter? You can't see it now. Is this really going to matter? Oh, he has 30 less basic attack on level 1. Okay, he has much less basic attack on level, like, throughout early game. In late game he stays the same, but only on level 15. 30 less attack on level 1. I mean, I guess that's for sure going to matter, right? And then, okay, scaling. At least I'm happy I can finally play Zacian maybe, because I really want to play this Pokemon. It's the biggest issue. I want to play this Pokemon, but it just feels unfair. And then we have increased move speed by 50%, decaying every 1 second by 15 down to a minimum of 10%. So, no, but now it's only 30% move speed from agility. So they nerfed agility by a recent amount. And apparently, again, someone told me, or I read somewhere, that it also doesn't, like, full heal anymore. Going to see, how would you guys rate this patch? I think I would still like to see more buffs, but I think there's going to be probably another balance patch soon. There's just something to hopefully finally not destroy the game any further. Alright guys, see you in the next video. Bye!